Paulette Stevens is standing here on the left with her hand up toward this board. She's the committee head over the 2015 Salt Lake City Parliament of World Religions. She's speaking to Catherine Hawkins at a Seven Pillars planning meeting, where we first introduced that we would launch a Zion Life Cooperative of Good Neighbors. Catherine is also a co-head of the same project. Catherine and Paulette Stevens were introduced to me on the first day I attended Parliament. I was volunteering a registration. I met Catherine at Lungar by happenstance, or I don't believe it was coincidence. Catherine introduced me to Paulette that very same day within the next hour, where Paulette filmed me for 10 minutes, telling my experience of what motivated me to be at Parliament. I told her the experience on December 5th, 1991, where I was shown the Holy City of Zion as though it were already here, built and returned, joined together. And then a second vision following that, where I also saw the new millennium and the lifestyle that we will be living then, of love, trust, and cooperation, made of all different faiths, all different peoples and cultures from around the world who are honest of heart, the pure in heart, who inherit the earth for that 1,000 years. And all of that lifestyle is designed to point them to celestial Zion, to pure Zion, to the ultimate Zion, which is in the holy city of Zion. Everything is about that. Everyone who walks and enters into the new millennium will be candidates for that lifestyle. They're all given that hope. They're all given that hope of a kingdom. After we attended the Parliament of the World's Religions, the big question was, what now? Everybody came together at Parliament. Paulette was the head of the whole committee. She put on the entire Parliament with her committee. It was beautiful. It was marvelous. And everybody loved it. We all felt so inspired to be there, so wonderful, so grateful to be among so many good people around the world. But when they all went home, they all went back to doing the same thing. All separate, not working together, not cooperating, not doing the things that are necessary to really achieve the desire that a lot of them had come to Parliament to hope for. That question, what now? After 9/11, after the UN, after the Parliament visit, and now after September 23, 2017, what now? How can we create peace now and prepare ourselves to survive the raging storms ahead? How can we do it? Is it all just talk, or are we really going to do something? I say yes. Yes, yes, yes. So what now? I say let's be bold and ask a more hopeful and exciting question. What if? What if God intends for us to create our own personal peace right now, with our spouses, our families, and in our communities? What if He wants us to work together to build a community family organization, like a spiritual cooperative of good neighbors? What if a healthy portion of the profit share goes to the members instead of a few stockholders? What if the rest goes to charity to continue growing this worldwide organization? What if we design the organization to look out for, to care for, and to financially secure our members, unlike anything ever done before? What if we have an online program that teaches new millennial leadership, life skills, and lifestyle training? What if this program could show people how to be free from all chains of addiction and how to solve any relationship problem at any level? What if it also teaches people how to live the only lifestyle that will prepare and enable people to create new millennial world peace? What if we organized ourselves to invite others worldwide, regardless of race, color, or creed, to help spread this new millennial lifestyle? How much abundance could we create together? How much poverty and suffering can we alleviate? How much good could we do in the world? Together in that spirit, we could easily raise all the funds we need and much more. We could live by the golden rule, united by common values around the world. We could accomplish goals and projects otherwise unattainable. We could reduce poverty by increasing freedom and abundance. We could help each other face, endure, and overcome hardship, create greater peace and economic security for members of the cooperative. We could prepare to survive and triumph over the raging storms ahead in these end times. We could create true hope in a world that is only destroying it. And we could prepare as many as possible to understand, to embrace, and to experience the blessings of universal Zion life. I have a program I call the 7 Pillars of Love, Trust, and Cooperation. It teaches leadership, life skills, and lifestyle training. Literally, Zion life training. But it teaches it in a way that's a universal Zion life training. I use the word Zion because that term is the oldest, most beautiful term that is meant for all mankind. It was also used in the trilogy of The Matrix so many years ago, where Zion was spoken of as the refuge for humanity to escape the bondage of the Matrix. Well, there's an interesting parallel to that. We live in a day today that might be parallel to the Matrix. and Zion being like an ark, a grand, massive ark floating on the oceans of all the world, inviting everyone to get aboard, to escape to a place of refuge from the matrix before it is too late. I teach this program to Sikhs. Here's Balveer Dillon, who we met at the Parliament of World Religions. She stayed after Parliament in our home for several days and attended the program with us. She wanted to spread the 7 pillars everywhere. She said as she looked at the flyer we gave to her, I've seen these pillars before. I know these pillars. And they resonated with her and the faith that she loves so much. This is James Herndon. He's a Seventh-day Adventist minister, and he had been in India for many years. He'd been in 65 countries around the world as a military pastor. He also saw the 7 pillars, loved what he saw, also came and attended our program just shortly after Parliament, stayed in our home for a period of time. He described the 7 pillars as essentially the gospel behind the gospel that is intended for everyone, the gospel of principles and values that can be either spiritual or secular, or they're the same. They join them together, they unite them. They make it possible for everyone around the world to be united, to gather around those principles and values so that they can love one another, trust one another, and cooperate together to literally accomplish what could never be done otherwise. As I teach the 7 pillars, we teach a problem-solving process that also helps people learn how to trace down the underlying causes of negative behavior, negative thinking, negative attitudes, addictions, you name it. All problems, all challenges of any kind of negative emotions and behaviors are underlined by false beliefs. Even when they're mixed together with true beliefs, the false beliefs that they're mixed with now control. The true beliefs only become a camouflage. And the worst ones are the hidden false beliefs. So the process of the 7 pillars helps people trace down hidden false beliefs, misperceptions, misunderstandings, those things which govern all negative emotions, behaviors, attitudes, etc. This is the group that graduated from the small workshop that we held just after Parliament. You'll see my wife Amy in purple right in the front. My daughter Rebecca here. Here's James Herndon, Bobby Dillon. This is Deborah Fletcher, Michael Brook. All of these are people we met at Parliament. These people all saw the same thing. They come from all different backgrounds. They are not all of the same faith. They are from all over the world. And yet they all united together like family, pure love, worthy trust, and voluntary cooperation. This group of people will represent about 10 other groups that I've walked through the same program who all felt and experienced the same thing. This is what we want to accomplish with people worldwide. We cannot do it in small workshops, but for a few at a time. We cannot do it in seminars, 300 at a time maybe, but we can't do it for hundreds of millions or billions of people. We have to use radio, television, webinars, podcasts, online streaming videos, and we have to use more than that. We need to have people getting involved like these you see here who want to spread it, talk about it, invite people to come listen to it, share links, send emails, do the social media thing, send texts. Everything necessary to get this word out to as many as possible, because this is the only way we're going to survive the end times. This lifestyle, these principles, these values, this way of life, which is the most ancient way of life, starting with Adam, right on to Enoch, right on to Noah, right on through Melchizedek, right on through Abraham, right on through the house of Israel, spreading into all the earth through Christianity, also existing among Muslims, Hindus, all of the Buddhists, the Asian countries, the Sikhs, the Jains. It's everywhere. But we have mixed it together with the ways of the world. We've got to separate it. We have to choose. From this day forward, I announce to you, God is drawing a line between pillars and chains. The opposite of the 7 pillars are the 7 chains, exactly opposite of those principles and values of faith, hope, and charity. That line is drawn between the two. What will we choose? What will we love more? It doesn't matter that we're not perfect. It doesn't matter that we have addictions. It doesn't matter that we are full of weakness. What matters is what we want, what we desire, and what we're going to fight for. I may fight every day with addictions, and I have in my life. I've come from a hard background since I was 6 years old, first getting caught up in addictions, and building from there into all manner of things in a rather rebellious youth, until I had a very, very powerful conversion to Christianity, to my Father, to my Savior, and to the Church of Christ, all very quickly, very suddenly. That has guided my life ever since. Everyone has hope. Everyone. No matter how bound up in chains they are presently. No matter where they've been before. It doesn't matter to me where you are or where you've been. What matters to me is where you want to go. How do we prepare for the establishment of a new millennial lifestyle of pure love, trust, and cooperation? We prepare for universal Zion life. a universal community family lifestyle of pure love, trust, and voluntary cooperation, supported by the 7 pillars of peace and freedom and charity. A society of good Samaritans, good neighbors, living the golden rule. This is the only life that will survive these end times, and the only 7 pillars way of life that will survive the coming of the new kingdom of God on earth in all its glory. We're going to take a pause. We'll come back and teach you a lot more about how we're going to go about doing this. It's going to be a lot of what we talked about with Paulette Stevens, Catherine Hawkins, James Herndon, my wife Amy and I, and 2 or 3 others that were very, very committed to wanting to see this thing go throughout the whole world. We're going to talk to you about a plan, a way of doing that, a way of incentivizing and motivating and drawing people together, helping them get behind a cause that could not be greater. From this point on, September 23, 2017, we launch the birth of a new kingdom. But that kingdom will be made of a people who are prepared to enter into it. We launch that mission in light of the vision of that lifestyle of the new millennium, where all different faiths, all different nationalities, all different cultures can live together in love, trust, and cooperation, who embrace the same principles and values of the 7 pillars. Coming up next, that's what we'll talk about.